The day of judgment will never come. It will never come. But they deny the day of judgment. On that day, man will say, "Where is the place to flee?" For a Muslim, it is as important to believe in God and His messengers as it is to believe in the angels, the resurrection, and death. It is also necessary to believe in the life after, i.e., the hereafter, and the denial of it also excludes a person from the religion of Islam. Resurrection, i.e., the destruction of this material world, and the resurrection of human beings after death is an irrevocable fact that no sane person can deny it because it is not in the power of humans to stop it, just like it is not in the power of death. No one can stop it and no one can deny it. But even today there are some non-Muslims who not only deny this resurrection, but also object. After death, when our bones are completely decayed, how is it possible that a god or God's presence can bring them back together and bring them to the battlefield and deal with us in terms of reward and punishment? This is absolutely impossible. But these foolish people forget that He created them from a lifeless drop of water within the world. He breathed life into them, and then death for them. What a difficult task for Him, who can first create them and resurrect them after death. If we humans study our history, we will realize that we humans are moving towards doomsday situations every moment. Just like a bus is continuously moving towards its destination, but some passengers realize it and some realize it, and when they reach the destination, they believe by seeing the day of judgment in front of them. It took 200,000 years for the human population to reach 1 billion in 1844, but after the next 100 years it doubled by 1927. That is, in the next 50 years, 2 billion. That is, within 1974, it will double to 4 billion. And today we humans have exceeded the population of 8 billion within 2023. Humans are constantly growing, and space is constantly shrinking. Due to the finite nature of the world, resources are diminishing. 828 million people, that is 10% of the world's population, sleep hungry on the streets every day. 30% can eat only 2 meals a day. Even today, if you look around you, the most developed countries in the world are the ones with the least population. To an extent, the human population is constantly increasing, of which very few die, and the people who increase this population are still in the world today. If it happens in a house that the population of people is constantly increasing and they have very little property, they will fight among themselves for that property. They will even become enemies of each other's lives. Now apply the same scenario to every country in the world, and imagine how people will start killing each other to survive when the world's resources continue to dwindle. An endless series of persecution will begin in the world. About 5 million new people are born in this world every day, and only about half of 1 million people die. Every man wants his children to grow and his race to continue to proliferate, but has the power to end it when it exceeds the limit. After every 100 years, it intervenes in the form of natural disasters, such as viruses, earthquakes, storms, or wars. So far, science has found evidence of 5 major disasters in the world, some of which are mentioned in the Holy Quran. Inside, there is also the story of Noah and his ark, and science knows it as division. When the sea level rose, life on Earth almost completely ended. Some destruction was caused by the rise or fall of the Earth's temperature. For example, from ice, when a large part of the world was destroyed due to too much snow. Or about 6.5 million years ago, when a large asteroid hit the Earth and completely wiped out about 75% of the living population here. It was the biggest disaster ever on Earth, but the human population in today's time is just like a time bomb that will start with the destruction of the world and this universe after the increase of oppression, which Muslims know as Day of Judgment. If we observe this universe of ours and see each and every physical phenomenon happening in this world, then we will notice one thing, that everything that is alive here will eventually die. A flower eventually withers and perishes. Even a tree started from a seed eventually perishes. In the same way, animals, birds, humans, planets, stars, galaxies within this universe, you will see exactly the same sequence in each and everything, which is a natural process. Today, Science believes that our universe also started from a point and exploded with a big explosion and continues to expand even today. There is certainly a difference in its age, but all scientists agree on its beginning. According to recent scientific research, until now humans have been mistaken in understanding the edge of this universe or its center. But now they fully understand that this universe is actually like a bubble, and we humans exist somewhere inside this bubble. But our existence is so small in this universe that if we look at an edge in any direction, it becomes the middle or center of this universe. That is, this universe has no edge or center. Yes, for us it is limitless or limitless. Now the thing to think about is that this bubble that started with a big explosion and reached this size, will there be no end from its beginning, just like every living thing on Earth has a beginning, and finally one day its end. Scientists believe that the universe will end in the same way it began. That is, after expanding for a certain amount of time, it will return to where it began. Just like a balloon that has to be inflated after it is completely inflated. While another theory says that this university will expand so much that the sun, moon, and stars will collide with each other and doomsday will be established. And the first reason would be our sun. Because our sun also has a catastrophic age, and after completing it, it too must die. When it runs out of its fuel, hydrogen, it will expand in size and end life on Earth with a big bang. Will give. Before it dies, it will grow so much that all the planets around it will be completely destroyed before it comes into being. In other words, it is scientifically and logically impossible for any intelligent person to deny the resurrection. Only arrogant and stubborn people can deny this. Now, what does God say in the Holy Quran about this resurrection? Just listen carefully. Although they deny the day of resurrection, and we have prepared for them the punishment of hell. When this hell sees them from a distance, they will be very angry, and these people will hear the wrath of this hell, and it screams. Then he said, I swear on the day of resurrection, and by my life that all people will be raised on the day of resurrection. And do you think that we will not collect his scattered bones? We will, and we are able to correct it, and man wants to hide because he asks when the hour will come. On that day, man will say that the doer is nowhere. After that, God Almighty says in Surah Hajj, O mankind, fear your Lord, because the earthquake on the day of judgment will be a very bad thing. After that, God ended this discussion by describing the example of the nation of Ad and Thamud in the Holy Quran, that these powerful nations also denied the death of our punishment. So the nation of Thamud was destroyed by a great explosion, and the nation of Ad by a mighty storm, and the day will come when all the mountains and the earth will be destroyed by the blowing of a bull. That is, God clearly said that when the most powerful nations of the world could not succeed in averting this punishment, how can today's helpless man deny the destruction after blowing this pig, and how can he claim to avoid it? Can do. Maybe this natural calamity was not within the reach of the nation of Ad and Thamud at that time, and it is not within the reach of today's man. How can the helpless man of today claim to save himself from this calamity, and also that the last and sixth destruction of the universe is coming on Earth in the near future, which every moment is leading us towards? But unfortunately, people are still unaware. They have not learned anything from the disasters of the past, but have sown the seeds of their weak and inefficient inventions. But they arrogantly deny that which God does not like at all. May God help us to understand and act. You must have found and liked this video. If you want to join our WhatsApp channel, then you will find the link in below description. Thanks for watching this video. Goodbye.